This is a very important message for you today. There is something heaven wants you to know, not to hurt you, but to heal what's been silently aching inside your chest for far too long. Archangel Michael has been watching over your heart, and what he just revealed wasn't meant to break you, but to finally open the door to truth. Your soulmate, the one you held in sacred space within your soul, has wandered into an energy that wasn't meant for them. But even in this moment, as hard as it is to believe, God is still writing redemption through it all. And this message didn't reach you by accident. Last night was not ordinary. In the unseen realm, something was stirred. Your soulmate, the one your spirit recognizes without needing words, found themselves sharing closeness with someone whose presence shocked even the heavens. This wasn't just a physical act, it was a spiritual confusion, a moment of vulnerability that opened a door to temptation. But listen closely. This doesn't mean it's the end. It means truth is trying to reach you before it's buried under more silence. Heaven didn't show this to shame you, it showed this because something sacred is being realigned, and you deserve to know what has shifted in the spirit. You have prayed with such sincerity for clarity. You've asked God in the silence of your nights, why do I feel so disconnected from the one who once looked at me like I was their entire world? This is why. A part of their heart wandered. A part of their soul became clouded. The connection you felt was real, but so was the spiritual battle behind it. They didn't set out to betray. They slipped into confusion, into a moment of emotional hunger they didn't even know they were feeding. And now, the angels are gathering, whispering to you softly, don't ignore the shift you feel. Don't silence the intuition God planted in your heart. This message is sacred because it doesn't come to accuse, it comes to awaken. It comes to remind you that your spirit has always been aligned with truth. That even when your soulmate's choices tried to cloud your inner clarity, your heart still knew something was off. This is why you've been restless lately. Why your soul feels like it's waiting for a sign. Why you wake up thinking of them, but feeling a sense of distance you can't explain. Because something happened, and heaven is asking you to listen. But here is the beauty in all of this, God never shows pain without planning healing. This truth was shown to set you free, not to leave you stuck in sorrow. You are not losing your worth. You are not being replaced. You are being refined, elevated, and divinely prepared for a love that will not hesitate, not wander, not leave you questioning your value. Whether your soulmate returns with a changed heart or God writes someone new into your story, either way, your future will be protected by truth. There are 4 minutes left before this moment fades into the wind again. That's not fear, it's divine timing. You were meant to hear this right now. Because heaven knows what you're about to walk into. A shift is coming that will pull you out of confusion and into peace. You don't need to chase closure. You don't need to beg for clarity. It's arriving now, through this message. Through this moment of stillness. Through the divine whisper in your chest that says, you were never forgotten. You are being recentered in truth. You have been holding your breath, haven't you? Carrying smiles on the outside while silently wondering why something inside you feels different. Heaven heard the cry you didn't even speak aloud. You tried to push the thought away, to believe in the love you felt so deeply, to give them the benefit of every doubt, but the truth, no matter how softly it arrives, always leaves a vibration. And Archangel Michael is not whispering to hurt you. He's whispering to restore you. Because your heart, so pure and so faithful, deserves honesty. Not a half-love. Not someone who chooses you only when the room is empty and the night is silent. But someone who chooses you even when temptation knocks, even when they're seen by many, but still desire only you. Yet something happened, something unspoken, something sacred and painful at the same time. That incredible night didn't begin as betrayal. It began as distance. Emotional drift. A slow pulling away that neither of you had words for, but heaven saw it. They were with someone else, but it wasn't love. It wasn't purpose. It was a moment of confusion wrapped in desire. But Archangel Michael says, you must know this, not to grieve forever, but so your spirit can finally stop wondering why it's been carrying invisible weight. You sensed it. That moment they texted with less warmth. That time they looked in your eyes, and something felt missing. It wasn't in your head. It wasn't paranoia. It was your spirit discerning something your heart wasn't ready to admit. And now heaven has made a decision to no longer allow you to carry this question mark alone. The angelic realm has gathered to release this message before midnight, to awaken you into freedom. Because even if they return and apologize, even if they beg to be held in your arms again, you must no longer shrink yourself just to keep love that forgets how sacred you are. God has not forgotten you. He has seen every night you stayed loyal to a memory. Every day you watered the roots of a love that was growing in two directions. But listen, child of heaven, this is not a message of endings. This is a message of becoming. You are not being left behind. You are being elevated beyond emotional half-rooms and one-sided dreams. Whether this person learns from their mistake and finds their way back to you, or whether God is already preparing someone who will never take your presence for granted, the outcome will still be your peace. Your healing. Your becoming. Archangel Michael says, your name is still safe in heaven's mouth. The angels have not erased you. In fact, they've circled your name with light, with redemption, with a future so tender that even your wounds will sing when you step into it. But first, you must allow this truth to settle, not with bitterness, but with clarity. You must let go of the idea that love should be fought for at the cost of your own peace. Let go of the belief that this was your fault. You did not lack. You did not push them away. You simply gave more than they were ready to receive. And that's not weakness. That's purity. That's spiritual royalty. So breathe now. The wind you feel across your skin is not just breeze, it's the presence of your angels, brushing past you with comfort. The chills down your spine? It's heaven's way of saying, you are not crazy. You were always intuitive. You were always meant to know, because God doesn't let His beloved children walk in darkness forever. And now the sky is shifting. Now, a decision is being made in heaven that what once broke you will now build you. That what once confused you will now clarify your direction. That the love you poured will be returned tenfold, maybe by this person, healed and awakened, or maybe by someone new whose soul is already being drawn to yours. But either way, your miracle is not cancelled. It is being rerouted through truth. And that is the most loving thing heaven could ever do. But listen, child of heaven, this is not a message of endings. This is a message of becoming. You are not being left behind. You are being elevated beyond emotional half-rooms and one-sided dreams. Whether this person learns from their mistake and finds their way back to you, or whether God is already preparing someone who will never take your presence for granted, the outcome will still be your peace. Your healing. Your becoming. Archangel Michael says, your name is still safe in heaven's mouth. The angels have not erased you. In fact, they've circled your name with light, with redemption, with a future so tender that even your wounds will sing when you step into it. But first, you must allow this truth to settle, not with bitterness, but with clarity. You must let go of the idea that love should be fought for at the cost of your own peace. Let go of the belief that this was your fault. You did not lack. You did not push them away. You simply gave more than they were ready to receive. And that's not weakness. That's purity. That's spiritual royalty. So breathe now. The wind you feel across your skin is not just breeze, it's the presence of your angels, brushing past you with comfort. The chills down your spine? It's heaven's way of saying, you are not crazy. You were always intuitive. You were always meant to know, because God doesn't let His beloved children walk in darkness forever. And now the sky is shifting. Now, a decision is being made in heaven that what once broke you will now build you. That what once confused you will now clarify your direction. That the love you poured will be returned tenfold, maybe by this person, healed and awakened, or maybe by someone new whose soul is already being drawn to yours. But either way, your miracle is not cancelled. It is being rerouted through truth. And that is the most loving thing heaven could ever do. This moment right now, this message reaching your eyes and heart, is not a coincidence. It's prophecy fulfilled. Because someone prayed for the truth. Someone begged God in secret, if it's not for me, please don't let me waste more time. And heaven listened. The answer came. Not to ruin your day, but to rewrite your destiny. You were not meant to live in the shadow of someone else's confusion. You were meant to bloom in the light of spiritual truth. So here's the revelation, whether this person comes back healed and repentant, or disappears into the silence they once chose, you are still going to rise. You are still going to experience joy again. You will still feel seen, chosen, held, and understood. And the next time someone lays next to you, it won't be with guilt in their heart. It will be with a soul that finally knows how to honor you. Because your spirit, as faithful and forgiving as it has been, is not a playground. It is a palace. And heaven is guarding its gates now. You have three choices: to continue wondering, to carry bitterness, or to open your heart to the miracle that is already waiting on the other side of your healing. And the angels are standing with you, whispering softly, choose peace. Choose clarity. Choose the version of you that no longer tolerates confusion as love. The version of you that is no longer available for betrayal disguised as mistakes. The version of you that God is proudly presenting to the next chapter of your life. Because even if someone forgot your value for one night, God never did. And now He's bringing you home to yourself. Finally. Heaven saw the ache you didn't speak. That moment when your soul folded inside. A beginning where your worth is not up for negotiation. A beginning where your heart is no longer on trial. A beginning where you stop explaining your spirit to people who only ever wanted your body. Archangel Michael says, you have suffered enough. And now it's time to step into the healing that has already been written in heaven's book for you. Let the pain turn into clarity. Let the loss turn into blessing. Let the memory fade without guilt. Because your story is still being written. And the pages ahead are not filled with confusion, they are lined with truth, alignment, and deep love that doesn't require you to shrink or beg. God did not bring this message to your spirit just to show you what happened. He brought it to reveal what's about to begin. There is a place inside you that remembers everything. Not just the words that were spoken, but the energy behind them. The way they looked at you the last time. The pauses. The shifts. The silence between messages. You noticed when they started drifting, even before they admitted anything. Because your soul speaks in quiet truth. And even though they smiled at you, something deeper had already changed. You didn't want to believe it. You fought for what you felt. You stood in love while they wandered in distraction. And now, heaven has confirmed what you always knew but never wanted to name. Archangel Michael kneels beside you right now, not as a warrior, but as a witness. He says, you loved someone who wasn't ready for your kind of depth. And that is not your failure. That is your strength. While they were seeking fireworks, you were building a home in your heart for them. While they were looking for attention, you were offering sanctuary. But not everyone recognizes the divine when it walks in soft skin. Some only understand love after it's gone. And now they feel it. The echo of your absence is louder than the presence of anyone else they tried to fill the void with. No matter how attractive the distraction, no matter how thrilling the escape, your soul was the only one that mirrored them completely. They may never admit this to you, but heaven hears their spirit whisper it nightly. Michael says, the human mouth may lie, but the soul always confesses the truth before God. This isn't about revenge. It's about release. Because you've spent enough days questioning your value through the lens of their indecision. You've replayed conversations, studied signs, analyzed texts, hoped for the return of the person you first met. But you are not meant to live on memory. You are meant to rise in revelation. And here it is, clearer than ever: you were never the problem. Your love was not too much. Your loyalty was not a mistake. Your sensitivity was not weakness. Your vision was not fantasy. You simply carried a level of spiritual maturity that they weren't yet ready to honor. And instead of choosing to grow, they chose to escape. But God is faithful to those who remain pure in spirit. And now, because you did not retaliate in bitterness, because you continued to pray even while breaking, because you kept walking in truth even when it hurt, the portals of restoration are opening above you. New alignment. New joy. New connection that sees you, hears you, understands you, and chooses you daily, not just when it's convenient. Michael whispers, "Do not settle for breadcrumbs when heaven has prepared a feast." The pain you felt was real. But it was also prophetic. It carved space inside you for something far more divine than what you lost. And when you look back months from now, you will not ache. You will thank God, for the unanswered prayers, for the moments you weren't chosen, for the nights they slipped away, because all of it made room for the love that never leaves. They may still circle your energy. They may reach out when the nights get cold. But you have changed. You have awakened. You have touched a level of divine awareness that cannot be unlearned. And when you finally see what God is about to bring into your life, you will understand, that night wasn't your ending. It was your exodus. An exodus from emotional starvation. From begging to be understood. From shrinking to stay. From crying over someone who always had the option to stay, but chose distance. The angels are not angry at them. But they are moving you now. And this message is your spiritual relocation. From confusion to clarity. From waiting to receiving. From betrayal to blessing. Don't pause here. Keep listening. Because the miracle wasn't the relationship you lost. It's the version of yourself you're stepping into. And that version deserves everything they never gave you. Every touch of respect. Every ounce of honesty. Every gesture of devotion. Every drop of spiritual intimacy. And it's coming, faster than you think. There is a sacred hush in heaven right now. As if even the angels have paused to watch what you will do next. Because they know what you've carried in silence. They know the nights you kept secrets no one saw. They know the smile you forced when the one you loved was whispering someone else's name behind your back, maybe not in words, but in the attention they gave, the energy they withdrew from you, the messages they never sent. Archangel Michael is not here to shame them. He is here to shield you. And to remind you, your love was not wasted, it was sown.